Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Hanyu Chinese podcast, where we are learning Chinese from the very beginning. And we have something that is very exciting and practical today. We will learn how to introduce ourselves and also our profession. So we will talk about different professions in Chinese. And today we have our very good helper and very good teacher, Melanie. How are you, Melanie? 你好吗？
大家好, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm very good. 我很好, and that's right. We will learn how to use the word 也 also, and to make your sentences more dynamic. And as always, we will share an interesting cultural hook about how professions are introduced in China and why teachers are so highly respected in China.
That is true, because like normally when you say I'm a teacher, anywhere else it would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry that you're a teacher," because you don't get paid well. But in China, you're like the boss. A teacher is like, "I'm a teacher," and they just like sort of. So, grab your favorite drink and let's get started. What are you drinking today? 你喝什么, Melanie? You're not drinking anything?
我喝热水, I drink hot water as all the Chinese people do.
That is so Chinese. Hot water. So boring. You don't even
I'm a
put
real one.
some leaves in there. Amazing. So very good. As usual, we will ask you some questions to you, and if you can answer the questions in the comments, we love reading your answers and your comments. Today we will start by teaching how to use who and the adverb also. So let's start with an important question. What does it mean? This word, shéi or shui. How do you pronounce this, Melanie?
Your pronunciation is very good. Shéi, shéi, or shui, but spoken Chinese we prefer to pronounce shéi, shéi, which means who.
Okay, so to say who, we have two ways of pronouncing it. Is this common? Like, why two pronunciations? Like, why do you say that you prefer shay?
It is a good question, I think, because in spoken Chinese, we also try to pronounce some words easier to pronounce, like 哪个、哪个、那个、那个、这个、这个。
So it's just because it sounds better.
Yeah.
Very good. It just Chinese is like any other language. It sounds better, then that's how we do it. Very good. The shay sounds easier to pronounce, I suppose. Very good. Huh? So if you're learning Chinese and you're learning this word who, the interrogative pronoun who, you will see sometimes being spelled in pinyin as shui, and sometimes it will be spelled in pinyin as shei. But you can choose. You can choose whichever you prefer. So, shay, how do we use shay? Let's see this question. Like, can you pronounce this? Can you explain what is this?
So here is 你是谁? Who are you? Who are you? Actually, the order is you are who. So be careful. Normally in Chinese for this sentence, we put 谁 as an object, not as a subject. So 你是谁? Who are you?
Very good. That is a very, very interesting point, because in English we put the question word at the very beginning, and Chinese is interesting because the questions have the same structure as the answer. So here we would say 你是谁, and when we see the answer, we will see that 谁 as an interrogative pronoun is replaced by the answer, which will be in this episode a profession. So we just need to look at, is the same structure, question and answer. We don't follow the same structure as in English, that question word normally goes at the beginning. But is it possible to put shay at the beginning, Melanie?
It's totally okay. For example, 谁是 salmon? For example, 谁是 salmon? Who is salmon? Who is salmon?
Oh, very good. So in that case, I would reply 我是 Simon. or 他
Yes.
是 Simon. It makes sense. It makes sense because in that case, you are asking for the subject of the following sentence. Very good. Let's see the answer for this question. So we said 你是谁? And how do we answer this, Melanie?
我是老师. I am a teacher.
Very good. So as we said, same structure. And we have the first vocabulary here, very important for us, to us, because we're both teachers. So how do we say teacher in Chinese?
老师.
And what is the literal meaning of, I'm sorry, I always ask you these questions like out of the blue. I treat you like a dictionary. Live dictionary, Melanie, please tell us, what is the literal meaning of 老师?
I don't know it. I'm sorry. 对不
I
起.
know. I'm terrible. But Lao is like a respectful way of saying old person. Is it Lao? Lao is old. So regardless of a teacher being young or old, they're called Lao, 老师, because in China, being Lao is a good thing. It's a respectful thing. I suppose that it's a sign of respect that 老师 as a word has implicit. We will talk about this later on. But very good. 我是老师. I love talking. Melanie, I talk too much. Now, let's look at more vocabulary. Because instead of 我是老师, we could also say I am a doctor. How do we say that?
我是医生. Doctor.
Very good. So I want to say doctor, male or female. 医生. This e we will see it in other words like hospital, 医院. So e has something to do with medicine, I suppose. And shēng has something to do with professions. We will see other professions that has shēng, which is also the verb for giving birth or being born. So, but I think it's unrelated to this. 医生, doctor.
Yeah. For this one, I don't know.
I don't think it has any relation. Okay, another word with sheng. What is this? What is this one, Melanie?
学生. Student.
Very interesting. It also has sheng, but it also has xue. This xue, what does it mean? Xue?
学 to learn, to study.
Oh, very good. So this is a person that learns. The other one is a person that cures or gives medicine. I don't know. And this is the person that studies, a student. Very good. So student, 学生. Very good. Then we have this other, driver. How do you say this?
司机. Driver.
Very good. This is very interesting because here in Pinyin we have S-I-J-I. For those who are listening to us in Spotify or Apple Music, S-I-J-I. But as we can see, sometimes this I is pronounced E and sometimes is not pronounced at all. Like, can you repeat? How do you pronounce it?
Yes. 司机.
Oh, wow. So in the first one, 司机, the 司 doesn't have vowel. 司. But the other one, it does. 机. So if we don't know when we pronounce E and when we don't pronounce the E, then go to our first episode. You can see all the details on how to pronounce Pinyin. Very good.
Idea.
That was a good episode, eh, Melanie? Good old times.
Pardon?
It was good old times, first episode of our podcast together. Now, we learned how to say doctor, student, and driver. So if I ask you, Melanie, 你是谁? How would you reply? 你是谁?
I will say 我是老师. I am a teacher.
Very good. Now ask me. Let's see.
你是谁?
I could say 我是医生. 我是医生. I am a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but just for the sake of practicing. Very good. So as you can see, we replace shéi or shui with the word, the profession, and the answer. Very good. Now let's go on and look at and we see this yeah. What how do we use this yeah, Melanie?
也, which means also. Also, we normally put it before a verb. For example, I can say 我是老师. I am a teacher. I can say 你也是老师. You're also a teacher.
Very good. Huh? So we just place it before the verb, in this case, before 是. Very good. Or we could say 我是学生, I am a student, or 我也是学生, I am also a student. Huh? Very good. Perfect. So we always place 也, which means also, before the main verb, which in this case is 是. Perfect. We could place it in front of other verbs like this sentence. What does it say, Melanie?
我也会写汉字. I can also write Chinese characters.
That's very good. So, yeah, in this case, we have two verbs, 会and 写. So we put it before. 我也会写汉字. I also can in this case. I also can write Chinese characters. Very good. Now let's practice. So if we say 你是谁? What could you say? Melanie. 你是
I can
谁?
answer. 我是汉语老师. 你呢?
I could say 我也是汉语老师. That's very good. So you put 汉语 before 老师. I am a Chinese teacher. That's interesting. 我也是汉语老师. Perfect. Now we learn how to place this 也 in these sentences. Very good. Later on, we will see more vocabulary. But first of all, let's give a question to the audience. We learn about this shéi. We want you to answer, to make this question in English, in Chinese, sorry. Who is your teacher? Who is your teacher? Can you make that question in Chinese using the interrogative pronoun shéi? If you can, please leave it in the comments and we will read it and we will correct if it's wrong. No.
Have a try.
Yes, exactly. You can make mistakes. That's totally fine. Now, if you're listening to a podcast and you're liking it, what do they do, Melanie?
Please don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to the podcast. And it will help us reach more learners like you and motivates us to create more great content. Welcome and welcome.
Very good. Now, let's keep going and we will learn a little bit about more professions in Chinese. Professions that are also very interesting and hopefully not very useful, like this next one. Police officer. Hopefully we don't need to talk about them or encounter them unless we need them. How do we say police officer in Chinese, Melanie?
警察, police officer.
Oh, that is very interesting. Jǐngchá is police officer, but the pronunciation is not very simple. How did you say it? Can you repeat, please?
Yes, 警, stronger nasal pronunciation, 英 and 茶, 警察.
Very good. You did something very interesting that I think you do without wanting to because you're very Chinese. Jǐngchá has third tone and second tone, but you, the third tone, you don't make it like a normal third tone. You don't say 警察, you do 警察. And this is very interesting. We saw this also in episode 2, when there is a third tone and a second tone. The third tone is not really a third tone, it's more like a neutral tone. It just gets like together with the next one. So it's 警察, okay? Not 警察. It all goes together. Very good. Every time we see a third tone with anything else, the third tone is more like a neutral tone, like Melanie just pronounced. Very good. We have more. For example, this one. How do we say this?
Ooh, 护士, 护士, nurse.
Very good. So if we ask 他们是谁? 他们是谁? What could we say? How could we answer this question?
他们是护士. They are nurses.
Very good. And then a very important one for our tummies. This one, chef. How do we say chef?
厨师, 厨师.
Very good. This is interesting. 厨师has the same 师 as 老师. Very good.
Yes.
So there's something going on there. If you know what 师 means, which I don't know, I'm not aware, please leave us a comment and please explain why 厨师 has so many things in common with 老师. Are they both teachers? Is a chef a teacher of the kitchen or something? Let us know. I want to know. Now I'm very curious and I don't have time to check on my dictionary why, but it's very interesting. 厨师, those are the things interesting
Welcome.
in Chinese. Very good. Now, if we want to, let's practice with this sentence. If I ask you, 他是谁? How could you answer this question? Melanie, 他是谁?
他是厨师. He is a chef.
Very good. Very interesting. Now, learning the professions is very important in every language, but in China, in Chinese, is even more important because why? Let's talk about how do we introduce people in Chinese. Do we need professions at all?
Yeah, because in China, using title is polite. And for example, calling someone 医生, doctor, or 老师, teacher, we show respect and acknowledges in their role. Like Sandy 老师, Melanie 老师.
Yes. Yes, so it doesn't matter how much you earn. It's more about the title. But this makes sense because, in China, parents, they really want you to be a doctor or things like that because it has some kind of allure. And I think it's because of that. This shows the parents why they want them to be doctors, Not only because they want to receive the practical things from it, but also because of the title. The professions in China have this kind of respect that maybe are lacking in other cultures, in Western cultures.
Yeah, exactly. So we want a good reputation. So doctors, 医生 and 老师, teachers are very good profession roles.
Yeah, I think this was related to what lately we're discussing a lot about Confucianism. I never talk about Confucianism only in this podcast, but it is important to acknowledge that Confucianism has made this hierarchy and these values very important, and the each person's role is linked to society, and this linked is through profession. So your profession makes you valuable in society, and that's why you want to acknowledge your profession and others' profession because it links people to society, and that is very important in Chinese culture more than any other. Very good.
Exactly.
Let's talk specifically about one profession that for us, for you and me, are very important, which is the profession of a teacher. Is it being a teacher important in China?
Yeah, so being a teacher is one of the most respected professions. So, yeah, because what you explained, this respect comes from Confucius, 孔子. We have talked about him. And that's why China celebrates 教师节, Teacher's Day. So every September the 10th, students show gratitude to their teachers and with cards or some small gifts.
Wow, 老师节. Do they have to work in 教师节? teacher?
Yes,
Do they
that's
do
true.
it?
They
Oh,
still,
man.
yeah.
I'm from Spain. A holiday, it's only a holiday if you don't work. Yes.
Oh, that's
But if
good.
you
That's
have to
good.
work.
Good idea.
Yes, that's how we see holidays. But it's interesting because this shows how teachers are so important in the culture. They don't only teach languages, they actually teach something else. They teach life. So they're very respected in China. So if you're a teacher in China, just say so. I am a teacher. Very good. Now, let's talk about the question that we left to our audience. The question was, what was the question? Do you remember? It was, how do you say, who is your teacher? How do we say, who is your teacher, Melanie?
你的老师是谁？
你的老师是谁? And why? I thought it was 谁是你的老师? Are you sure it's 你的老师是谁?
Yeah. No, so we have explained most of the time we put shéi at the end as an object, not a subject.
Very good. So it won't be wrong, but it wouldn't sound as natural. So 你的老师是谁? 谁 at the end. Very good. And so we could say 你的老师是 Melanie or another teacher. But if you want Melanie to be your teacher, 你的老师 to be Melanie, please go to hanyuchineseschool.com and ask for a free online class. We have different teaching methods that adapt to your circumstances. So if you're very busy and you don't have time, we can adapt to that. But if you really have time and you want to make the best use of our online campus with all the master classes and all the tools that we have in the online campus, please also sign up for your free lesson in hanyuchineseschool.com. That is 3ws.hanyuchineseschool.com. Very good, Melanie.
Yes.
我真的享受经典的课的播客。And I guess I see you next week.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoy it and happy you're here with us. So see you
Yes,
next week.
very good.
下周见。
下周见，拜拜。
再见。